There you go. There's a good acorn. That's the meat of it. See the little acorn wormy? Look, see, there's one right here. There's another one right here. They like to hibernate and eat what's inside the acorn shell, so when you crack them open, they're now homeless. I need to find them some shells. But anyways, I was able to crack open a good handful of, they're not the best example of acorns, but they'll do. They'll work for this demonstration. And of course, the planes are flying over. Hello, airplanes. Yep, I'm at it again. I just can't seem to get away from them. Anyway, got the acorns. Time to go. That's a good acorn. Hooey, look at that one. Yeah. Okay, as I reach the bottom of this container, I actually have 4 juicy acorn worms that need homes if anybody's looking for adoption. Wait a minute, that's the helicopter. I really do have to go. It's a beautiful day in the apocalypse. Alright, I think I lost them. I'm flying my coffee. Well, before I had to go rolling off, I was able to gather enough acorns to do this. Okay, here's the cans from the previous demonstration. Here's the charred remains. You probably can't see it, but anyways, there they are. Rather than reuse these, I'm going to do something slightly different. Try to mix it up a little bit each time, you know? Okay, so for today's demonstration, I'm going to use a larger can. This was originally a large size can of V8. You can see where I punched the holes in here to pour it through. I also used the can opener to take the bottom. This is actually the bottom of the can. Because I broke my primary can hole puncher, I brought my backup can hole puncher, as well as a backup can hole puncher, and a backup for the backup. Actually, that's my knife fire kit. We'll get to that here in a moment. First, I'm going to punch some holes in this can. Alright, see, I just punched the 4 holes in the bottom, if you can see. Hold on. There you go. I just punched the 4 holes in the bottom of the can, see? And of course, when you're doing this, you want to be very careful, because I just cut my thumbnail and peeled it back. As you see, that's kind of painful. Safety. Anyways, you use the can up there to just kind of, whoops, well, it bends, but you can punch the wah example, what not to do. Anyways, use the can up in there to once again bend the can. It's not what I was trying to show you. Okay, well, when that happens, because the can is bent inward, instead of pushing it that direction, I'm going to go the opposite direction now and try to straighten that out as much as I can. As much as I can. Get it? Because it's a can. I made it funny. Anyways, just continue punching holes in your can like that until you have a sharp flower arrangement like that. It's for your airflow. Of course, those airplanes are steadily circling around. You can hear them. But I believe I'm in a secure location right now. Another look, you can hear them now. There you go. Got holes all the way around top and bottom. As you can see behind me, there's some roosters on that hill back there. See, there's a rooster. There's a rooster. I'm not gonna go chasing after them right now. And over there's a kitty cat. Just say crosswalk. I'm trying not to be seen. Back to your primary location. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, anyways, this is the can we'll be using today. Using this can to boil the tannins and toxins out of these acorns. But not in this plastic one. I'm going to use this metal dog dish to do that with. And I would have gathered more, but sometimes you just got to go with what you got. Literally, go with what you got. Okay, let's get this smashed and fire it. Break it into smaller pieces so it'll fit in the can. Now this time, instead of feeding the fire from the top, I'm going to actually flip the can upside down and use this as the heating surface. So we're going to have the wood in the can before I start the fire. Okay, so I am filling it with wood, but I'm not going to burn it with the flames coming up out of it in your typical rocket stove fashion. Now you don't want to pack it too full. You want to allow some room for the fire and for the airflow to cycle through it. But you want to fill it fairly packed, you know, leave some room, because, well, you'll see. First, you want to clear away any leaves or debris from the area so the fire doesn't spread, just in case. Okay, this is where it's going to be. But first, see the squirrel? There's a brownie up there in the trees. Says, what you doing with those acorns, man? That's my breakfast. As I was going to say, you want to make sure you have your acorns in the bowl that you're going to boil them in to remove the tannins. So go ahead and fill that with some water. It doesn't have to be a lot of water, because you may need to repeat this process a couple times. So the more you can conserve your water, the better. Plus, the less water you have in there, the less time it will take to heat it, the less fuel you'll have to use to boil that water. So I just have a light amount of water, just enough to cover the acorns. Now I'm going to begin with a smaller fire on this piece of concrete right here. As you can see, I've used this to start several other fires, and then go with the classic cotton ball tinder method. Okay, this time I'm going to use the knife fire starter kit method. This is a kit that I designed myself. Somebody asked me about this recently, a couple episodes about it. If you can see, it's just, you can get this at Walmart. Cheap little knife with a sheath, but I used a couple of hair ties to hold in the accessories, that being this fire starting stick. As you can see, I've used it a few times already. And also attached to that knife, again, it's held in place with a hair tie because you don't want it to fall out. Oh, and it also has Velcro straps. So anyways, you pull out the knife right there. And attached to that, I have a flame extender. Just, oh, it hasn't even been opened yet. Haven't broke the seal. Haven't used that yet, and don't really need to. But in case your lips get chapped, now you can use it to start to extend your flame, and use it for chapped lips. That's what it's for. That's why it's called chapstick, obviously. Anyways, as I was saying, in this little knife sheath right here, basically all I did was add the fire stick, held in place with a hair tie, and also there's a couple cotton balls stuffed in there. It has this little handy dandy pocket, so that's what I use it for. I said, hey, I know just what to do with that. And what you do is you use the back of the knife, all right, the straight edge, to, hold on, let me get the rest of my fire ready. Okay, so what you see, I've taken 3 of these quick starting fire bundles, put them down there in the shape of a triangle, all right, so that when this cotton ball is ignited, I'll put that in the middle of the triangle right there, and then that will expand from there, and it will fit inside this can. Actually, I'm going to have to push it a little closer together to make sure it fits inside the can, but I will invert the can on top of it, and then the fire will light up inside and start the wood. That's the plan. Let it work good. And this, of course, is a glove for safety because it's going to get hot. All right, let's see how many strikes it takes to start this. Oh, come on. Come on, catch it. Catch it. Come on, light the curtain ball. Well, you see what I'm doing here? There it is. We have fire. I don't know how many strikes that was. Seemed like about 15 or so. Uh-oh. Come on, get in the fire. Don't ever pick up the fire with your bare hands like that. Anyways, let's make sure it gets going. All right. Now the fire is starting. I'll put this back in the kit safely and securely. Everything held in place with the hair ties. Okay, see? And put it back in my back pocket so that I know that's where it's supposed to be. Everything in its a place for everything, and everything in its place. It's good advice. Okay, There we go. Stuff it in there. Get it burning. Come on. I need you to sit flat. Ow. Oh, shoot. Don't do that. Ouch. There we go. I'm pressing it down with the rake. I see smoke. Hopefully it's going to burn in there successfully. There we go. Looks like it is. Let me go ahead and put this on top of there right now. Utilize that heat as much as I can. And assume that that fire is kicking up right there inside all that smoke. That smoke, of course, is going to get it in my location. Man, those helicopters will be back. I was anonymous, but anyways, I'm going to use this, if you can see, to put on top of there. That will trap the steam inside of it as it warms up. It shouldn't take too long to boil this water. I'm going to let them boil for about 5 or 10 minutes to get all the tannins out of there. And then you drain that water, and then you can repeat the process a couple times until the water becomes clear. Alright, so there you go. Just go ahead and let it boil for a few. You can see the fire is going really good. This method is very effective. You can hear it too. So, as always, be careful, stay safe, and God bless you. We're not done. I just thought I would throw that in there while I was waiting on the water to boil. Okay, put on this glove for safety here. Well, it's not boiling yet, but you can tell it's heating up very well. I'm going to go ahead and invert the bowl. There, that's the perfect level for the water. That should hold it in even better. There it is. That is a lot of smoke. I'm surprised I don't hear the helicopters yet. Or fire trucks for that matter. Oh, there's the airplanes. I knew they'd be coming eventually. Well, hopefully I have enough time to at least boil that water before I have to transition to the next stage, which is roasting the acorns. Yep, time to skedaddle out of here. I'm serious. Oh, it finally caught fire the rest of the way. Well, there we go. Right as the helicopters and planes are coming, but I can't leave now. This is too exciting. Better get this bowl out of here before it melts. You know what I mean? Actually, that was doing pretty good. I'm gonna leave it right there. It'll be okay. Now that's an effective fire. What happened? It just all of a sudden ignited and went from smoke to fire. It's like, well, don't run off now. Never run off and leave your fire behind. Exactly. Thank you, Lord. Shame on me for about to do that. All right, now that's what I'm talking about. Boil that water. Well, if you can see, as it begins to boil, the water's starting to turn brown. I don't want to get too close with the camera, though. It is nice and warm, though. Whoa, that's a lot of smoke. Ah, the air is clean and crisp down here beneath the smoke. It's not even getting in my eyes, see? Can I just give these a good stir here and make sure they're good? Can't even see them through all the smoke rolling up. They should have had the tannins and toxins pulled out of them by now, so I'm gonna drain this water. Suddenly the fire sprang up again, just as I was getting ready to put on my glove. Okay, I guess it says let it boil a little bit more. I was gonna say I had to remove this plastic bowl off of there because it melted a hole through it. Didn't work very good as a lid. Yeah, the water's getting pretty dark. I'm gonna say it's ready to drain that water. But as you see all that fire reaching up, I'm gonna burn myself even with gloves. But you can see how dark the water is, surely. I mean, look at that, it's dark, it's not clear anymore. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this sand concrete slab right here to hold the acorns in place as I go drain this water. Okay, this container is hot. See all the steam coming off of it? See how dark that is? Didn't see it, it looked like tea. Okay, now while the fire's still going, I just take this can, it's freshly boiled acorns, set them on there, and start roasting them. The sizzling you hear is the moisture coming off of it. I'm going to remove that, so I'm going to stir them around as they roast, and roast them for about 10-15 minutes, maybe 20. And those acorns sizzle. Yeah. Smoke's really burning my eyes here. Should have worn safety goggles. Normally I wouldn't be poking my face that close to the, to the fire with a camera like that. I would keep my distance from the smoke, and it's not that much of an issue. If you sit to the back of the fire, then it will blow it away from you, not in your face. But if you sit right in front of the fire, then it's going to get right up in your eyes and be an inconvenience. Now, if I hadn't melted that plastic bowl, ideally I was just going to dump these acorns on top of the can and let them roast directly on the heat of that. Because when you have to transfer the heat from the can to the pan, you're going to lose some of the heat from that transition, especially because the fire has already been utilized for the most part to boil the water. So for this part, you may want to do a second fire. I just thought I would try this transition to show the inverted rocket stove method. So instead of having the hole on the top, the hole's on the bottom, the fire's going up. And it may have been more effective just setting this on top of a rocket stove. But anyways, that's how I would normally do it. I just thought I would try the inverted method and see how that works. It's sizzling really good. They're roasting. They're beginning to. Oh yeah, wait a minute. You don't want the leaves and stuff to get in there. Just pick out the leaves. And remove the outer shell, the outer skin if you would. Or you can eat it. That's good too. Now right about now, while they still retain some of the moisture, is a good time to add a little bit of salt for flavor, or a little bit more salt, depending on how salted you want them to be, lightly salted or lots of salt, extra salt. And it's a beautiful day in the apocalypse, oh yeah. There you go, fresh roasted acorns, lightly salted. Actually, it's about the right amount, I would say, right for me anyway. So this is the outer skin of the acorn I was telling you about. I actually kind of like those. They're pretty good. Really good with salt. Okay. I could have rinsed out those tannins a little bit better. This batch is slightly bitter. It's okay. When that happens, just start another fire, reboil them again until the water's no longer dark from the tannins, and then there you go. It's okay if you roast them. That's actually going to help. But there you go. Roasted acorns on an inverted rocket stove. That one's not really a pocket rocket, although you could fit it in a large pocket, like I do.